again with Darren Murphy, the author of 8 Keys to Connecting. Thank you for being here, Darren.
Thank you, Tommy, again, for giving me another opportunity to be interviewed.
Well, Darren, I understand you like to read. What do you read?
I love to read. I'm voracious. I love to read history. I love to really read historical books on business. And by the way, before we go any further, we're talking about books. This is my copy of The Purple Cow by Seth Godin. And what you're going to see in the next few minutes, once again, we have Seth Godin to thank and his Purple Cow. History books of business. Jim Collins, Good to Great, great by choice. All Jim Collins did was collect data on companies that have consistently knocked it out of the park, regardless of outside conditions, regardless of money situations, all of that. They consistently knocked it out of the park, and he kept data. What did they do? Their practices. So think about this. In a few hours, you can find out what will definitely ensure the longevity, the viability, the thriving of your business.
Darren, what's the most recent book that you have read on this subject?
On business and history, last year, Ray Dalio, D-A-L-I-O, wrote a book on principles. This is so cool. He kept a diary in undergraduate school. He took business, marketing, advertising, things of this nature. He kept a diary on what worked and what didn't work. Then he goes for his MBA, and he added one other thing to the diary. Why did it work? Why did it fail? So he compiled a whole compendium of good stuff for any business, and he gets down to very specific practices. In his company, which is the largest hedge fund in the world, Bridgewater hedge fund, most successful, he instituted this program in the company of having baseball cards, similar to baseball cards, everyone's skills and what they were very good at and what they weren't so good at and what they were poor at, so that when they had a team get together to tackle a new whatever, the manager of that team, she could pick you, and you for her team because there were certain strengths. This was so cool. Ray Dalio, the name of the book is Principles. It's big, but it is great.
Darren, we've covered the most recent book that you have read. Let's go back in history and pick an older book that you've read and that you recommend.
An older book regards business. Power of Full Engagement by Jim Lohr and Tony Schwartz. Excellent book, because in this book on business, and it's a book about how to get the best out of any individual, they have broken down the individual to 4 parts: mind, body, spirit, and emotions. Any one part that is being underserved or ignored, they have found out when they concentrated that one part and bring it up to par with the other 3 parts, then that person has an unbelievable amount of energy, an unbelievable amount of new ideas when you have all 4 parts of every human being working in conjunction: mind, body, spirit, and emotions. Great book. It's an older book, but The Power of Full Engagement. This book is phenomenal, especially for managers that might be having someone that was used to knock it out of the park all the time, and then all of a sudden they're kind of not doing so well. This book gives them the analysis of what's going on with that person, and more importantly, how to help that person come up to their full potential.
Do you have any books not about business that you can recommend?
Oh, absolutely. There is Spy the Lie. The former CIA officers talk about the interrogation techniques that they have designed and developed, where they can find out pretty much when someone's not telling the full truth. And in today's world, industrial world of business espionage, this would go very well in your human resource department, or for you, the owner, to be able to interview someone and find out, are they telling the full truth? Another book I'd like to share with you is Michael Novak's The Spirit of Democratic Capitalism. He outlines how capitalism has very much helped more people around the world than any other ideology form of government. It needs its watchdogs, but it is a program that's designed for the human spirit because it makes the individual able to use all their potential. Michael Novak, Spirit of Democratic Capitalism.
Darren, are there any other books on your must-read list?
Oh, yeah. The elephant in the room. Dealing with the elephant in the room. Have you had occasion, especially with relatives, at that all-time dreaded holiday of Thanksgiving, that you invite Darren, the really way whacked out there uncle, to dinner, and you don't know how to talk to him? Dealing with the Elephant in the Room is a really good book. It gives you some very specific skills and strategies on talking with people that are way out there. This one, and I think this has to do with the culture that we're living in right now, the me generation, to the point where me first, nobody else, the sociopath next door. This lady, Martha Stout, Dr. Martha Stout, teaches psychology at Harvard University and has had her own private practice for over 25 years. And her numbers point towards 1 out of 25 people is a sociopath. Sociopath being defined as someone without feelings for another person at all. They're not all serial killers. They can be the person that guilts people into doing work for them. Or everything's going great at work and here's this person comes along and just starts stirring it up. Everyone knows them. Well, she, in this book, The Sociopath Next Door, conjectures is 1 out of 25 and might be living next door to you. Good book, good analysis, good for managers and business owners to look at, to start wondering, why is that person that I do everything for go out of their way to just cause havoc in this business that's giving them a good salary?
Darren, again, I thank you for being here. I appreciate everything. Do you have any closing remarks?
Yes, I do. And first off, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Please, become a reader of history, because history, those who refuse to study history are doomed to repeat it, according to George Santayana. And Mark Twain, he had a wonderful saying, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes an awful lot. Go get a book that's going to help you.